Hey, Gigs Movie Page. Michael here. I was gonna do a review of Rogue One last night, but my phone died, and I just was going through the hustle and bustle. But after this morning, hearing the unfortunate and untimely death of Carrie Fisher, rest in peace, Your Highness. Um, I decided I'm just gonna go do it right now, and yeah, I'm just gonna, this is gonna be a spoiler-filled review, so it is what it is. Don't watch unless you've seen it first. When I heard that they were going to do Rogue One, I was thinking they're really going to do another prequel after the other films, but this one literally was like one that wraps up with the original Star Wars. When the movie ends with the original Star Wars beginning, so I was like, oh, okay. So I had no reservations. The fact that they had, rather than it just being, they had a whole bunch of, characters. You had Felicity Jones, you had Diego Luna from Y Tu Mamá También. Felicity Jones is a former is an Oscar-nominated actress, so we can't shortchange her, and she's the star of the movie, female lead. Donnie Yen, Hong Kong badass Donnie Yen, legend. He's in the movie as well, and another I can't remember the other gentleman. And then Alan Tudyk playing a motion capture droid. The movie's basically about them being. The movie's about a girl named Jen Erso, whose father was kidnapped against his will to help create the Death Star by an old colleague of his. And 15 years later, the girl grows up to be a former prisoner who gets rescued by the rebels. And she is tasked with doing a job. She has been asked to find this message that her father had left for his former friend and former compatriot, Saw Gerrera, played by Forest Whitaker, who is, he's still recognizable, but the fact that he has prosthetic legs and has like this whole breathing apparatus and the whole, it's kind of hard to explain his character traits, but they have to find him, and the fact that he's now an extremist with the Republic, it makes it hard. So she is tasked with finding him along with a pilot, I forget his character name, Cassian, played by Diego Luna. So and the funniest thing is his character is kind of like has hints of Han Solo, and a droid that works for Cassian, K2. So they go on their merry little quest to go find this thing. Go on this mission to find him, while Caspian's been charged with an order by the rebels to kill Galen Erso, who is Jin's father, played by Mads Mikkelsen. You may remember him as Hannibal from the TV show Hannibal, or Le Chiffre from Casino Royale. While this is happening, Director Krennic, played by Ben Mendelsohn from Bloodline, and he was in The Dark Knight Rises as Taggart, the billionaire, who Bane obviously kills. I was like, who are you? I'm Gotham's Reckoning, that guy. Basically, he's this new character who is brought in to be one of the guys who helped create the Death Star, with this stupid white cape looking like a discount Elvis. He literally just finished working out everything on the Death Star. Problem is, Governor Tarkin wants to get his hands on it, and Governor Tarkin is played by a CGI Peter Cushing, which I thought was nice. They kind of have like little Easter eggs in here, like the guy that Obi-Wan Slevers pig nose, and that other guy, like, he doesn't like you, I don't like you. That son of a bitch is in the movie. Jimmy Smits is in the film as well, returning as Senator Organa, which I thought was cool. You love Jimmy. I think R2 and 3PO have cameos in the movie as well, and then they do name drop Obi-Wan Kenobi. So I was like, anywho, they team up. Well, anyways, Jin and Cassian realize the only way they're gonna survive is if they team up with more people. So they team up with Donnie Yen's character, who may be a Jedi, may not be. I forget what it was, but he's a badass regardless, and he's blind no less. He uses the Force as kind of like a way to help him with his senses. And his friend, who I forget his character name, but he's a gun-running badass as well. So all of them team up to try and find this defecting Empire pilot who was Galen's only insider and only friend who could help him escape and get the plans he needs. So they all team up to figure out what is going on and find Galen. At the same time, they also have the Empire on their ass as well. And the Death Star actually does work now. It destroys a city. It doesn't destroy a planet, it just destroys a city. So I guess the planet blowing up, part of the upgrade, I guess, didn't work yet, but they're working on it. There's more to the story, but going back to what I was saying, the reason I really wanted to do this is because this morning I had gotten news that Carrie Fisher had passed away. She had a heart attack on Saturday on a flight from London to Los Angeles while promoting her book. I had heard rumor that she had just finished all of her episode 8, finished filming her scenes, and so everyone was just worried, and everybody was just laying out their thoughts and prayers for her and hearts, and they said that she was in stable condition and everything was fine. And then her mother on Christmas, Debbie Reynolds, said, "My daughter's fine. She's in stable condition. We're going to do what we can." So that was 3 days ago. I don't know what happened. I'm not a medical doctor, and I'm not in Los Angeles, so I can't tell you what happened. So to me, the reason I mention this is because here's where the big spoiler comes in. At the end of Rogue One, the team dies. It was all for nothing because the Death Star destroys the planet where they're all on, but they were able to get the plans off the planet into the hands of the rebels and to get it the hell out of here before Vader shows up. And then, of course, when they get to the ship, Vader comes on, and Vader basically, for about 5 minutes, proves how much of a badass he truly was. I mean, better than Darth Maul, and a hell of a lot better than Kylo Ren, Which is funny because we haven't seen Vader this badass since The Empire Strikes Back, where he can just take out guys left and right, voice choke them, and then just do his little, sword action. Lightsaber action. And it's funny because in this movie, when you first see him, he's on this he's in this special castle on the same planet in episode 3 where, the lava planet, episode 3, where Obi-Wan Kenobi took his limbs and he was set on fire and became Darth Vader. However, in this one, Director Krennic meets him on the planet, and he's in this cryo tube. No, I wouldn't say cryo tube, but he's in this tube where he's relaxing, and some guy tells him, "Lord Vader, Director Krennic is here." And then the water descends, and then you see this torso with no arms just lying about. And everyone's like, "Dude, that's Vader." And then of course when he does show up, it's Vader, still menacing as ever. And yes, James Earl Jones does the voice. Director Krennic, you lack faith. And I was like, yeah. And then of course it cuts to him at the very end, taking out the rebels, and then them escaping in a dropship. And then they finally, one of the captain or one of the guys goes up like, "Your Highness, we got the battle plans for the Death Star." And the next thing you know, it's Carrie Fisher, a young CGI Carrie Fisher, grabbing the plans. And the guy asks her, "Well, Your Highness, what is it?" "It's hope. It's hope." And then they just go off, and then the movie ends, directed by Gareth Edwards. To me, I thought it was great. Gareth Edwards had just done the Godzilla movie 2 years ago with Bryan Cranston and Kick-Ass Aaron Taylor Johnson himself. And I thought he was going to do, when I first heard he was going to do the movie, when he was doing a Star Wars movie, I thought he was doing episode 8 or episode 9. It's like, nope, he's doing Rogue One. I was like, oh. Which to me was cool because, again, it's just, he does pay fan service to what happened to the movie, and then he pays, it's like little winks and nudges. It's not, the only lightsaber we saw was Vader, so don't expect Jedis popping out of the woodworks. It's basically just civilians and rebels, teaming up to take on the Empire. And little, Vader's in it, of course, because, it takes place in the, before New Hope. So yeah, I said, rather than just ramble on about a bunch of bullshit, I really wanted to do this video last night. I was tired, I forgot, and then this morning I heard the news of Carrie Fisher, so to me, this is so unprepared. I'm so unprepared. I just want to talk about Carrie Fisher. To me, we had a debate last night on one of my geek pages that is she considered a Disney princess now, and some lard-ass moron who thought Ghostbusters was the greatest movie of all time, not the Bill Murray version, the Melissa McCarthy version. To make a long story short, he was just completely stupid. And we're like, dude, he is, technically she is a Disney princess, so you're a moron. And then some Donald Trump loving dickhead had to, basically, come in there and say, oh, this happened. So this morning we all said, hey, she's a Disney princess as of now, and that's how we're leaving it. Go screw yourself. And he hasn't responded since. So, to me, Carrie Fisher, after Star Wars hasn't had the best of lives, but she battled depression and alcoholism and a lot of other things. But in the in the 2000s, she was able to, become a best-selling author. She was a regular on Family Guy, not playing Leia, but playing Peter's boss from the brewery, and also doing TV show appearances and movies. I remember she was in Harry Met Sally with her and Bruno Kirby were a couple, and they would always, listen to what Harry or Sally had to say. She was in this movie called Loverboy with Patrick Dempsey, where he was like where he's a pizza boy / part-time gigolo, sleeping with older women so he can get money to go back to college. I know it seems like a crass comedy, but the way they did it was funny. And she was blonde, and she played a photographer, and she was dating this like bodybuilder guy who, he was. To make a long story short, at the end of the movie, they were able to reconcile, and he ends up picking her up, and that was it. So I was like, you go, Princess Leia. And then, of course, with The Force Awakens, everybody was just so happy. Like, dude, she's back, Princess Leia. But she's no longer Princess Leia. She's General Leia. And so, with the way the movie is now, Han Solo died of Kylo Ren from the last movie. And now with Princess Leia, what's going to happen? You could kill her off, I guess, in Episode 8 or Episode 9. But to me, I would just rather just... This said, I would make it more classier than that. Which means, in the movie series now... The only person left alive is Luke Skywalker. But with the new trilogy, you're going to have to shoehorn in new characters. I can't think of any other movies right now that featured Carrie Fisher besides this. Oh, yeah, and the Austin Powers cameo where they were all just, Dr. Evil and Scott were doing their thing. And, just like, what makes you guys, what makes you guys father and son? And so the funniest thing is, Doctor was just telling him, basically all his lifestyles, and then just said when I was 15 years old, this guy shaved my testicles. This is awesome. And she's like, you know what? I'm going to stop you right there. Still one of the funniest things. Anyways, so all I have to say is that go see Rogue One. Just because, the story is a bit convoluted, but it was stunning and it was beautiful, and I liked it. And also because Carrie Fisher's in it, a young CGI Carrie Fisher, and they pay fan service to her. So to me, when I saw in the theater last night, this new theater, when she popped up, everybody was like, yeah. They still had her fresh on their mind, so. Anyways, I gotta get going. So I'm sorry I haven't done a review in a long time. I saw Doctor Strange, but I didn't do a review, but with everything going on, it's time to get off my ass and do something, so. Thank you guys. I want to wish you guys a happy new year. I wrote Merry Christmas, but now I just want to wish you guys a happy and safe New Year's. I hope everybody's okay. And I hope everything works out well. Rest in peace, Princess Leia, General Leia, whatever. You're royalty to us. Thank you.